My husband Cody is in rehab, and I am ready to talk about it.
This post is for Cody. Let's save Cody. Hashtag save Cody. From Mikayla. What she did was disrespectful. In his own home.
Mikayla is straight up blasting her own fans this week. And it's wild. She's furious after people started questioning her husband Cody's well-being. And the drama only gets bigger from there. We gotta break down her emotional rants, her awkward link-up with Jaclyn Hill, the flop of her big brand launch in Canada, and why people are now whispering that some of her content looks AI-generated. It's a whole storm of chaos, so let's dive right in. Earlier this year, Mikayla got really raw about Cody's struggles with addiction. She opened up about the tough road they've been on and why so many of her posts showed her crying and spiraling online. Last year, things hit rock bottom. She admitted she had to kick Cody out of their home. He was forced to get his own place until one day he finally admitted he was ready for rehab. Cody did the work, completed his rehab program, and eventually moved back home with Mikayla.
My husband Cody is in rehab, and I am ready to talk about it. I knew Cody was an addict when I met him. When I met him, he was living in sober living, and he had just gotten out of rehab. He moved from Nevada to Massachusetts to go to treatment here, and the only reason he stayed is because he met me. It became so hard in our home, and I had to make the really difficult decision to remove Cody from our home. He ended up getting his own apartment, and I said, you need to figure it out. And on March 2nd, 2025, I get the phone call from Cody. And he says, I'm done, and I'm going to rehab.
The two even leveled up into a brand new house, and from the outside, everything seemed to finally be turning around. Fans cheered for them, praising Mikayla for being brave enough to show such a raw side of her life. But that honesty came with a price. And now the same fans who once stood behind her are dragging her. Why? Because Mikayla still drinks sometimes. Anytime she's spotted holding a glass of wine or a cocktail, the comments flood in, accusing her of being a bad influence on Cody. People keep questioning whether she's really supporting his recovery, and Mikayla is clearly fed up with being judged like this. The drama exploded even more after Mikayla threw a massive housewarming party, and things got messy fast. She got drunk with her friends right in front of Cody, filmed the whole thing, and then proudly posted it on TikTok. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing, and the backlash was brutal. Before this, every time Mikayla got dragged for drinking, it was always while she was at an event or away on a trip without Cody around. But this time, she was sipping and partying in front of him, and people were not having it.
We of course had drinks, and we definitely took advantage. I had all my friends, family, co-workers, everyone you could think of came to the party. And if you're curious how it ended, well, so am I, because these videos were on my phone, and I don't really know how we got to this point. Even Chorizo was very confused. These are the moments, though, that you don't forget. I had the time of my life, and I will never forget it.
Viewers started calling it reckless and insensitive, especially given everything Cody had been through. The internet really lost it when they thought they spotted bottles sitting inside her wine rack at home. Comment sections blew up with people insisting she was hiding alcohol in the house, though Mikayla clapped back, saying it wasn't even wine. But by then, the damage was already done. Fans were convinced she was crossing a dangerous line. The comment section turned into chaos. People were flooding her page with things like, how does Cody deal with all this drinking while being in recovery? And I actually feel bad for him being around that. Mikayla wasn't having it and snapped back with a cold response. Go where any free man can go. That comment only added more fuel to the fire. But then it went even further. One viewer made a whole video saying, we need to save Cody, as if he was trapped in some nightmare.
This post is for Cody. Let's save Cody. Hashtag save Cody. From Mikayla. What she did was disrespectful. In his own home.
That move took the drama to a whole new level, and fans were left debating whether Mikayla was just being careless or if she was completely ignoring how serious Cody's situation really is. Mikayla finally clapped back at that viral Save Cody video, and let's just say she did not hold back. She made it crystal clear that Cody has been sober for months now, and according to her, he's actually proud of how far he's come.
At a housewarming party. I had alcohol at the housewarming party. Let's talk about it. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about things that Cody and I do in our marriage. Rightfully so. I posted on the internet. But there's a couple things I need you to consider. Cody's been sober for 6 months. Do you ever consider that Cody himself is extremely proud of himself that he was able to have a housewarming party with alcohol and coexist at this party with no desire to drink? Did you ever consider that? And you're not gonna tell Cody what is too soon.
She stressed that he's at a point where he can be around alcohol without slipping, and she wasn't about to let strangers online rewrite his progress. Then she launched into a fiery rant, reminding everyone that Cody is her husband, not the internet's. She explained that she personally asked him if he was comfortable with alcohol being around before inviting friends over to drink. In her words, she didn't just spring it on him, she made sure he was okay with it first. Mikayla doubled down, saying people were ignoring how supportive she's been through his whole recovery journey. She painted herself as a loyal wife who stood by Cody when things were darkest, and now she's frustrated that people are twisting her actions like she doesn't care about him. And interestingly enough, the comment section started leaning in her favor. A lot of fans argued that sobriety is about strength and boundaries, not living in a bubble.
I think I just do things without talking to my husband? Don't you think we had a conversation weeks leading up to this party about what beverages would or would not be served? What's disrespectful is you assuming that I just said Cody and brought a bunch of alcohol into the house without having a conversation with him. Are you serious?
One person even wrote, 9 years sober, it's no one's responsibility but mine to stay sober. Recovery is about coexisting and knowing your limits. Another pointed out the obvious. Cody doesn't live in a bubble. If he goes to a restaurant, there are people drinking right next to him. Is he supposed to stay inside forever? For the first time in a while, people were actually siding with Mikayla, turning the heat back onto the critics who may have gone too far with their attacks. Of course, plenty of people still think Mikayla drinking around Cody is messy, but as she's quick to point out, it's her marriage, not anyone else's. She keeps saying they're both adults, and if Cody's fine with it, then that should be the end of the discussion.
He brings me flowers and cards, and he tells me he loves me every 5 seconds. That's because I'm a good wife, okay? I will stand on my toes about that, okay? I stood by Cody's side when he was at the worst, lowest moment of his life. I stayed, just like he has stayed for me. So the fact that there was alcohol at this party, no one gives a except for the internet, who's blowing it out of proportion. And I saw another post about how Cody was like on the couch in his phone, feeling uncomfortable in the situation. Wrong-o! It was like 1 a.m., bro. We were cleaning up, we were having fun, he was just chilling.
The debate hasn't slowed down, and it all ties back to how her personal life has been under a spotlight ever since she blew up as one of TikTok's biggest beauty influencers while juggling the weight of Cody's recovery. That's why so many people keep comparing Mikayla to Jaclyn Hill. The two have been gassing each other up in comment sections for a while now, and just last weekend, Mikayla announced she was finally going to meet her at an event. Fans were buzzing over it. And when the moment actually happened, it was emotional chaos. Mikayla filmed herself collapsing into Jaclyn's arms and sobbing like it was some long-awaited reunion, and the clip went instantly viral. But here's the thing, the comparisons run way deeper than just addiction struggles in their marriages. People online have been saying for years that Jaclyn Hill's entire career is lined with shady business moves, sketchy launches, and money-grabbing stunts. And now, many think Mikayla is walking that same exact path. Sure, both women rose to fame fast, and yes, they've both been open about personal struggles at home. But what people really see is the pattern. Jaclyn climbed to the top while being slammed for controversy after controversy. And now, Mikayla's drama is starting to look eerily similar. Jaclyn Hill was dragged for years over shady brand deals, her sketchy relationship with Morphe, and constantly shoving discount codes in everyone's face without ever properly disclosing sponsorships.
I have to be totally transparent though, I have put off meeting Jaclyn Hill for years. Because her and I have essentially the same story. Very similar stories in our personal life and in our, relationships. And, I just think I will cry if I meet tonight.
And now, people swear Mikayla's following the exact same script. Fans are pointing out that the parallels are way too close to ignore, and her latest brand move isn't helping her case one bit. Let's talk about POV's big launch in Canada, but because it's already turning into a disaster. When the news dropped, Canadian fans were hyped to finally get their hands on Mikayla's products. But the excitement turned into outrage the second they saw the prices. We're talking $54 for a moisturizer, $31 for a lip balm, $40 for a primer, and $48 for a toner. People immediately started dragging the brand for charging full-on Sephora prices after once promising to stay affordable. That switch-up had fans feeling betrayed. And honestly, the sticker shock didn't stop there. POV offered bundles to save some money, but even that wasn't enough to cool people down. The real meltdown came when fans hit checkout. Suddenly, that so-called free shipping turned into a whopping $40 fee thanks to duties, taxes, and random tariffs. People were stunned, posting receipts of their carts and calling the whole thing a scam. One furious shopper summed it up perfectly in the comments. $200 for the bundle, and then $30 in duties. Can I just get a PR box instead? Others said it felt like Mikayla was cashing in on her international fans, without caring how unfair the prices were. What was supposed to be a glamorous Canadian launch is now blowing up in her face, and fans are calling it greedy, shady, and straight up disappointing. Fans in Canada are straight up fuming over POV's launch, and the receipts are piling up. One buyer in Ontario revealed they were slapped with an extra $18 in duties and taxes for just a 3-product bundle. Another fan complained, "Girl, we can't afford the import fees." And the wild part? Nobody's paying the same thing. Some people said they only got hit with $7 in Alberta, while others were charged $22 or even $27. The numbers are all over the place, and it's leaving Canadian customers feeling completely ripped off. Even though these crazy import fees aren't technically Mikayla's fault, fans don't care. They're dragging her anyway. Shopping across the border has always been pricey for Canadians, but with POV charging luxury prices on top of duties, it's no wonder products are sitting on the site collecting dust. Weeks after the launch, nothing has sold out, and there hasn't even been a restock. For a brand hyped as the next big thing, that silence is not a good look. People are already speculating on where Mikayla will take POV next. She even liked a fan comment begging her to bring it to shoppers, hinting that she might be eyeing a Canadian retail rollout to save face. And in the States, everyone thinks Ulta is already lined up. Especially after Mikayla and Cody were treated to that over-the-top private chef experience we spilled about earlier. It looks like she's trying to lock down retailers fast before the Canadian launch ends up being remembered as a flop. But if the price drama wasn't enough, Mikayla is now battling a whole new controversy, being labeled as AI generated on TikTok. This isn't exactly new because fans have been calling her out for years over how heavily she edits her photos and videos. Her pictures are so airbrushed, she barely looks like herself, and her makeup reviews are layered under filters that sometimes glitch right on camera. Viewers are blasting her for hiding behind fake effects while promoting beauty products, and now the AI influencer label is sticking. Fans are asking how they're supposed to trust a makeup review when the filter is doing half the work. And with TikTok starting to automatically tag suspicious content as AI, Mikayla's brand image is taking another big hit. Between overpriced products and glitchy filtered videos, the cracks in her beauty empire are showing. And people aren't holding back anymore. Fans say Mikayla is crossing the line when it comes to filters, calling it flat-out deceptive. Sure, she's admitted before that she struggles with insecurities and can become obsessed with her looks because she's constantly staring at herself on camera. And while that's relatable, it doesn't excuse the fact that she's pushing those same unrealistic standards back onto her fans every time she edits her face into something that doesn't even look real. The thing is, Mikayla has never openly admitted to using filters in her videos, even though everyone can clearly see it. Viewers have been pointing out glitches for years. Makeup magically blurring, skin smoothing out unnaturally, lashes looking doubled, yet she stays silent like nothing's happening. That silence is making people feel even more played, and now TikTok itself has stepped in. Just a few weeks ago, Mikayla posted a "Get Ready With Me" video, and TikTok slapped it with a bold label, AI-generated media. That tag sent fans into a frenzy because it wasn't just people speculating anymore. The platform itself was calling her out. And honestly, it shook people. For many, it was the very first time they'd ever seen TikTok apply that label on a beauty video. Even I had to stop and double check because the app gives you a whole disclaimer about why certain posts get flagged like this. The message was clear: if TikTok thinks your content looks fake, they'll warn viewers before they even hit play. For someone trying to build a trustworthy makeup brand, that's a nightmare. The AI label didn't just spark outrage, it planted doubt in people's minds about whether Mikayla's reviews can be trusted at all. When TikTok slapped that AI tag on Mikayla's video, people were scrambling to figure out what it actually meant, and the platform's own explanation made things even messier. The official notice reads, "We require people to disclose realistic AI-generated content so that they can express their creativity while providing context for viewers. If you see undisclosed, realistic AI-generated content, please report it." Basically, TikTok is telling viewers to call out creators who try to pass off fake, overly edited videos as the real deal.
My husband is so thoughtful. He's taking me on the sweetest date I've probably ever heard. Every weekend, me and Cody go on a date, and it's different every time, and I'm like, he's gonna run out of ideas. The thing I told Cody is that I wanna be more active. I wanna go on more active dates. Basically, he noticed that I always point out people who ride bikes and express that I wish I had a bike.
And it doesn't stop there. The site also breaks down exactly how the labeling system works. It says the AI-generated label appears when a creator themselves admits the content was completely made with AI or significantly edited using AI. But here's the kicker. TikTok can also slap that label on automatically if they detect suspicious editing. Their newsroom statement explains it clearly. TikTok may automatically apply the AI-generated label to content that we identify as completely generated or significantly edited with AI. This happens when a creator uses TikTok AI effects or uploads AI-generated content that was made on certain platforms. Translation: even if a creator doesn't confess to using filters or AI tricks, TikTok's system can still flag them. And that's exactly what fans think happened to Mikayla. TikTok goes even further, saying they ask creators to disclose AI edits to prevent the spread of misleading information. Their words: "We require it for realistic images, audio, and video. We ask creators to label their AI-generated content to help make clear to viewers which content is unaltered and which has been modified by AI technology." That explanation lit up the comment sections because suddenly people were seeing Mikayla's beauty videos in a whole new light. If the platform itself thinks her content looks too fake to trust, how are fans supposed to take her makeup reviews seriously anymore? For someone who built her brand on authenticity, being tied to AI labels is a major scandal, and it might end up haunting her more than the price drama ever did. Could TikTok have slapped that AI label on Mikayla's video by mistake? Maybe, but it also raises a huge question. Was she secretly using one of those sneaky filters and TikTok's system just caught her in the act? That would explain why the label popped up out of nowhere. And funny enough, lately, that AI tag hasn't shown up on her new posts. Did Mikayla ditch the filter, or did TikTok really get it wrong the first time? The mystery only fuels more speculation. Here's the thing. Even if it was a glitch, the label shines a light on a bigger issue: transparency. When influencers are literally selling you products based on how flawless their skin looks or how smooth their makeup applies, filters change the entire game. It blurs the line between what's real and what's fake. Fans are the ones left feeling tricked. That's why so many people actually think this label is a good thing. Maybe this whole scandal will finally force influencers like Mikayla to keep it raw, stop relying on filters, and show people the unedited truth. Because at the end of the day, if you're asking fans to spend $50 on a moisturizer, they deserve to know what the product really looks like on skin, not a filtered version of it. So what do you think? Was Mikayla caught red-handed, or was TikTok just glitching out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, subscribe to NoFilter, turn on that notification bell, like, and share this video. We're serving up fresh celebrity gossip every single day. And trust me, you don't want to miss the next tea spill.